Right, Shalom. 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 First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahawah, BaHa YAHAWASHI, RACHAA QADASH, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Oh yeah, I just remembered I need to get something. Yeah, we need this. Shalom to you. Oh, not that. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there that's following the faith, man. Let me just get one more image that I must needs get. Ay. That's why it's on a different computer. Let me see if I can pull something else up. Yeah, basically we're gonna do a quick response to this character Vocab Malone, who came out of the woodwork again. You know, this guy is so disingenuous, so hateful towards the Israelites, man, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. He's desperate to maintain the status quo. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church, who's the biggest Christian organization on the earth, are just molesting all kinds of children. He's got nothing to say about it, because that's just how it is, right? But when it's the Hebrew Israelites, if a Hebrew Israelite farts in the wrong direction, he's ready to jump on Twitter and post it out and paint us to be the worst people ever. Dude's an absolute demon, man. I'm not gonna get that image. I'm gonna have to do without it for now. But I'm sure that I had it. Guess we'll never know. Right, so bear with me. I should have had this prepared beforehand, but it literally just dawned on me that I could still use that image. I got the book upstairs, so I can always just quickly go grab the book. Where is it? I might have to do that. But okay, so let's just carry on. If I might have to go grab the book from upstairs, because I got it just to read the quote. So basically, this guy Vocab Malone, let me share my screen. He recently did an interview with the Good Fight Ministries, and my question to the Good Fight Ministries is, when did your people begin to fight the good fight? Was it when, before or after you slaughtered the Native American Indians? And that's why we just got zero respect for these Edomites, because the way they operate and the way they act is as if they're like this ultimate authority on what is true and what is not true. And anyone else, their information doesn't matter. And these people, it's very disgusting the way they operate, as if they haven't been the devil, as if they haven't been caught out in lies over and over and over again, like there's some kind of moral high ground, or the people that we're supposed to look up to tell us whether something is true or false. It's very satanic. All right, but he was on here, and you got a bunch of people on the comment board, and they don't really ever address the scriptures that we bring out or the information we bring out. They just try and belittle everything. Let's play this.
Or traditional debates on apologetics, such as issues of, people were going to bring up white Jesus. It's just kind of like that. That'll be the way the topics. What about white Jesus?
Yeah, and of course that's not legitimate. because this is the this is the thing. That's not legit. That's not a legitimate argument for them. They don't want us to talk about the fact that they basically cast out the true image of the Lord, which he's a man of color. All right, a man of color from the tribe of Judah, and put in there some blue-eyed, blonde-eyed, blonde-haired lie. And we're not allowed to bring that up. If we bring that up, you know, it's a problem. Yeah, that's not even an argument. Just look at the way he's talking about it.
We're going to bring up, honestly, things that they learned from memes.
So again, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. Here it is, the apostles, the elders, their elders have done extensive research. Not only do we bring out the scriptures, but we also bring out all kinds of books and references. But all of that, yeah, is of little consequence. We're bringing it out from memes. Do you see what this guy is doing? It's all about belittling us and making it look like, you know, nothing we can ever come up with is legitimate, which is the core of the system of so-called white supremacy. It's the ideology that, listen, anything you so-called Negroes come up with is lesser and of little worth unless Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, validates it, because they're the supreme. All knowledge and information has to be brought forth and validated by them, and therefore they get to control the narrative and the status quo. Yeah.
So you have to learn how to debunk memes.
Yeah, because that's what we do, right? That's what we, the Hebrew Israelites, do. We bring out information that we gathered from memes. That's what we do. Yeah, because we're urban.
People are going to bring up independently published books.
You're not allowed to bring out they can decide what books are valid and what books are not valid. Okay, they can control the narrative.
Which is, I'm nothing against those. I'm just saying.
Then why are you mentioning it? If you're not against them, then why are you mentioning it? See what I mean? Double speak, devil tongue.
You're off the beaten path a lot of times. Now, some of the issues are the same.
Off the beaten path. Well, what's this guy talking about? Now, I'll tell you why it is, man. Let's go back to Revelations 20:7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. And we're not apologetic. We're not going to apologize. We're going to say it straight. You Edomites, all right, the so-called white men who are the biblical Edomites, as a nation of people, like Vocab Malone, he's a member of the nation of Edom. You are Satan. You are the adversary. You are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay, and you have spun so many lies on this earth. It's unbelievable. You, in fact, must be the latest lie. The latest psychological operation is the big C. Your monetary system is a big lie. Your evolution, another big lie. We could sit here for days. The amount of lies on a global scale that this man has told and proliferated throughout the entire earth. That's all he's done since the Renaissance era, is push lies and narrative. Rewrite history. Yeah, spread propaganda to make himself look good, to exalt himself and put everyone down. And now we're finding out the truth and bringing out the truth that we're not just black, we're not just African, we're not just Hispanic, and all these different terms that he has placed upon us. It's a problem. Okay. This man is Satan. He's an adversary. That's why he's coming up against us. Yeah. The JOO has guns and a military and is actively killing people to possess the land of Israel. This man has a problem with us reading the Bible, but he won't say nothing about the JOO, who has M16 rifles, armored vehicles, and is actually shooting and killing and bombing people as we speak. He will have nothing to say. Imagine if we were shooting and killing and bombing people. We can't even fart. We can't even fling a fist without this man having something to say. It just shows you who he's really against and what he's all about. All right. Let me just pull this chat up and then we'll continue with that precept. These people are Satan. 100%. We're not going to apologize, and we're not going to back down. Bet. Get rid of that. It says, when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Now that goes into the Renaissance era. That's when Esau Edom came back into his power, and he had power. Micah 2:1. He had the power, he had the supremacy. And what did he do with it? Spread lies, murder, steal, rape. And by the way, while they were doing all this, they were Christians. They've always been Christians. And this is why these guys, I don't know, what do you want us to do? You've always been these good old Christians, and you've always done wickedness and evil. You slaughtered the Native American Indians. You enslaved the so-called Negroes. They were all Christians. And to this day, you haven't condemned those people to hell, but you ready to, you Hebrew Israelites, you're gonna burn in hell. If you don't repent, you're gonna, well, is your great granddaddy burning in hell? Is he burning in hell? No one can answer. No one can answer. Yeah? Since you want to say you've changed and you ain't the devil no more, which you are still the devil, is your great granddaddy burning in hell? Are they burning in hell? No, I don't want to talk about that. No. Okay, they died. They were They were more racist than anything you could say we were ever. We didn't do nothing. They were actually slaughtering, cutting off people's scalps, taking souvenirs from people's dead bodies that they've slaughtered and keeping them in their house. They never repented from that. So are they burning in hell according to you? Nah, you ain't gonna do that, are you? You devils. It says, and shall go out to deceive the nations. And that's all Esau Edom does, is lie. Is lie. That's what your CIA is all about. That's what your MI5 is all about. Psychological operations and lying and stealing and doing skullduggery. That's what you're good at. That's why you know the truth. Your elites, they know the truth that's within the Bible, and we've shown that. He likes to talk about, listen, we've done exercise on this channel. I've gone into the Matthew Henry commentary, the David Guzik commentary, and I've shown you where even in the commentary in the Old Testament regarding the prophecies, many things they say agree with our doctrine. They agree with our doctrine because they know what the prophecies in the Old Testament say. We've shown you they've put the precepts and the references together and referenced the correct precepts, so they know what the scriptures say. They choose to lie to the masses. They choose to deceive, to maintain the status quo of Edomite supremacy. And that's what Vocab Malone is dying to do. He's dying to keep the status quo of Edomite supremacy going. Yeah, I know you so-called Negroes can sing, dance, and do pretty much everything better than me, but at least I'm the superior one because I'm so-called white. But now we're taking that away because it's like, no, you're not white, you're Edomite. And they don't like that. Okay? And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. That's you. You're the only people whose influence and power reaches to the four corners of the earth. You're Satan. You're the one that's done that. You're the one whose propaganda machine and media machine goes to the four corners of the earth. Facts. That's why you can go anywhere in the world today, and most people, you show them an image like this and say, who does that look like? And they're gonna say, oh, that looks like Jesus. Why is that? Why do they have that in their brain? Why do they possess that deception? Because of you damn devils. Okay. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Because the end of this deal is always going to be that great war, and that war is going to be the end of you damn devils. Unbelievable, right? This is Psalms 58. and 3. It says the wicked, which is you Edomites, are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. They don't want to hear the truth. These vocab Malone don't want to hear the truth. The amount of scriptures, the amount of they never address. We will bombard them with scriptures and information, and they will never address any of it. They will cherry pick what they want to speak about. Very disingenuous, because he doesn't care about the truth. He cares about the status quo. And we, the Hebrew Israelites, we're a glitch in the matrix. We're interrupting, we're upsetting that status quo, that Christian status quo. We're destroying it. And he don't like it. That's why he's against us. Damn devil, man. Unbelievable. Now, I also wanted to get in fact, we'll leave that. We'll go. Well, now, I've got a book, right? Because he's saying we're not bringing out no sources, yeah? Now, we are not black Hebrew Israelites, but what we do teach is that the Israelites are a people of color. We are a people of color. We were a people of color, and we're still predominantly a people of color today. Now, this book, I had the book. I recently moved, and I can't find the book, man. It's somewhere. I don't know where the hell this book disappeared to. This book is very expensive to buy now. It's called The Pictorial History of Israel. It was put together by Meir Rubin and Jacob A. Barkai. Okay. Now, within this book, the only image in this book which is contemporary to the time, like the history, the ancient history, is the first image they show you in the book. So let me get that up. This is on the first page where they discuss the ancient Israelites in Egypt. After this, all the images they show of history of are basically Renaissance images, and then they got modern day images from the founding of Israel today. This is the only image in the book which is actually from the ancient world, right? This is a mural which they found in 1860 in a tomb in Thebes, a Theban tomb, right? I'm going to read what it says, and then we're going to have a look at the image. It says, this mural depicting Israel's bondage in Egypt. Now, I didn't say that. I did not say that. No Hebrew Israelite said that. This was put together by so-called Jewish scholars. Yeah? So Vocab Malone, don't at me, yeah? Because it ain't me. We didn't make this stuff up. It's just not common knowledge. Yeah, because they don't want it to be common knowledge. They sweep it under the rug. Let's read it again. This mural depicting Israel's bondage in Egypt was found in a Theban tomb of RACHAA, governor and vizier at the time of Thutmose III, about 1450 BCE. And then they got the scripture next to it from the book of Exodus 1 and 13. Now, what do you see in this image, Arkiam? What's this? That's an Egyptian. He's the one with the whip. What's this? This is an Israelite, not a black Hebrew Israelite. There's no such thing. This is an Israelite, right? Carrying the burden. Yep. Doing the brick and the mortar work. These are Israelites. What do you see? What do you notice about these Israelites? They're people of color. You got lighter ones, but what do you see? Look, this one has the mud on his foot. It's a person of color. Yeah? You see? Brown. Dark brown. Predominantly. Look. These are Israelites in Egypt. Okay? And that's an Egyptian. Dark skin. Look, that's an Egyptian. Yeah? This is the truth. This is the inconvenient truth, because Esau, Edom taught, in fact, you know what, Arkham? Give me 1 second. I need to get this book. Salakia Arkham. Yeah, this is another book here. Let me get it up on the image for you. These devils, man. They're doing too much. This is the book here. Right? It's called At the Hands of Persons Unknown. Right? By Philip Dre. A very good book. Let me get the focus. It's a very good book. If you could get it secondhand, it's got a lot of good information in there, a lot of lynching stories, things like that. Now, let me show you where this why this stuff is so sinister. Let me get it real quick. Right. This is from page 97. It says, and I quote, "The Negro," which is what they were calling us, Negroes. They didn't want us to know our true identity, so they called us Negroes. They're the ones that made it about color. They named us after the color of our skin. They made it about color. We didn't make it about color. It was never about color. It was about heritage. It was about seed, and it still is to this very day. That's what we focus on, the seed, really, more than anything. Because if you could have a dark complexion, but if you're not of the seed of Israel, then you're not of the seed of Israel. This isn't a black thing. It says the Negro is a fellow of many natural defects and deformities. Ran a typical passage in Najok, A Question for a Continent, a popular literary assault on blacks written by Hinton R. Helper and published in 1867. These were all Christians, by the way. So according to them, we had many natural defects and deformities. When we're the stronger people, we're faster. We could do physically, we're better, we're stronger in every way. Higher bone density, everything. But you see, Esau had to lie. He had to put us down. And that's why our people have a low self-esteem. Because Esau spent hundreds of years exalting himself through his lies and putting our people down, calling us stupid, calling us deformed. And now we found out that we're the children of the Most High. It's mashing up that whole status quo. It says, not only is he cursed with a black complexion, so they taught that to have melanin in your skin was a curse. You see? A deceiver. Yeah? An apish aspect. Apparently we were ape-like. Is that true? Is that true? These were Christians. These were Christians, man. Followers of Christ. Were they not? But we're supposed to bow down to these people. And a woolly head. And they confirm that we have a woolly head. And in the Bible, what does it say about the Most High? And what does it say about his son? That they have the hair like the pure wool. They have woolly hair. But Esau said that's a curse. Yeah? Oh, yeah. He is also rendered odious by intolerable stench. Yeah? Oh, but they stink. They stink. They're stinky people. Well, you're gonna stink if you're being worked from sun up till sundown in the hot sun with no baths and things like that. Are you not gonna be? This man is the devil, man. A thick skull and a booby brain. Helper was a unionist and had opposed slavery, but came to resent northern efforts to turn southern freedmen into citizens. Sections of his book bore titles such as The Negro's Vile and Vomit-Provoking Stench and Black Nobodies. And this is the status quo. To this very day, Esau Edom does not want to give credit to Jake, beginning with the tribe of Judah, for our history, for the great things we have done in history. Even the Native American Indians, that's why they hide
their books, they make it look like they were just savages when they had cities, they had books. When you go down into the Americas, they had cities, books, great technology. Esau tries to hide all that because he wants you to think that they were just dumb savages and he's Mr. Renaissance and he's Mr. Smart and Mr. Technology and he knows everything. That's the status quo that Vocab Malone is trying to continue. That's why he don't want us to be Israelites. That, you know, it says, in the latter, he provided exhaustive list of accomplished people throughout all human history, statesmen, historians, philosophers, artists, explorers, and dared the reader to offer the name of even one Negro whose achievements would deserve inclusion. And that's why the only time they're going to give you any credit is for modern day activities like Michael Jordan or something like that, right? They'll give you that credit, but as long as you understand that we made you that. Do you know what I'm saying? You came up under us. They won't give you any credit for anything before slavery. And that's Vocab Malone. Oh, no, you ain't the Israelites. You're just black. You're just African. You're just Negroes. Your people ain't never done nothing in history. Yeah, that's how these devils operate, right? And that was from At the Hands of Persons Unknown. Nice little excerpt there. And that's the spirit that Vocab Malone is coming in. The spirit of the devil. Yeah. Now let's jump back to that image. You see the image? They had this image since 1860, yet still proving that this man is Satan, proving he's a deceiver. When they made their movies regarding the Exodus, this is what they did. Let me put it. When they made their movies regarding the Exodus, this is what they did. Charlton Heston, a JOO, that's who they put to play Moses. Yeah, this guy here, I forgot his name, is a brilliant actor. Old school, he used to do all them westerns and all that. This look, these are the Egyptians. This was them using their media to continue the deception. This was a continuation of so-called white supremacy, to paint all peoples from history as themselves. Yeah? Which at this time, the Pharaoh would have been a tall, dark-skinned Hamite. And Moses would have been a dark-skinned Israelite, a Levite, which is why he could pass. Okay? Now, there you go. Moses and Pharaoh, a deception. And this film came out like 1940 something, I believe. Right? Lies. And they conveniently left out a scene where Moses put his hand in his bosom. They conveniently left that out the film because it can't be done with Edomites. Exodus 4 and 5 says, and start from 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Leprosy is a lack of pigmentation in the skin. Leprosy is when your skin becomes translucent, and therefore what bears through is either the whitish, fatty layer of flesh, which is beneath your epidermis, or blood. Because when you get hot, what happens is the capillaries in your epidermis enlarge, which allows more blood to flow through, which is why at some points Edomites can either seem blue or pale, very pale, whitish, yeah, or red. It depends on the amount of blood which is flowing through the epidermis. Why is it? Because it's not because their actual skin is white. It's not white. Their skin is translucent. And because the skin is translucent, you can see down into the fatty layer below the skin. That's why I don't know if you've ever cut. Have you ever done a mad cut? You know, say like when you was younger, you might have been playing football or cricket or whatever it is, and you did a clean graze. So the top layer of your skin just came clean off. What you'd notice is before the blood comes, there would be some white. It would literally be white. And you'd be like, I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, ah. And then all of a sudden, the blood just comes gushing, and then it's all red. And then obviously you heal up, you grow a layer of skin back over the top. At first it's translucent and pink and whitish. And then blots of brown starts coming back, and then it becomes brown and you have a scar. That's because below that first epidermis of skin is a YE layer of fatty tissue. Yeah, it's biology. Okay. So leprosy, which is defined in the Bible of the skin, is literally a lack of pigmentation within the skin. Yeah. And leprosy of the hair is a lack of pigmentation within the hair, which is blonde hair, a yellow thin hair, which Vocab Malone will never address. He'll never address it. He'll ignore it because it doesn't fit the status quo. Because here it is. That would mean that Charlton Heston was a leper, which he is. My cold dead hands. Well, your hands are dead now. Anyway, he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand in his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. Well, what was his other flesh? His other flesh was pigmented like every other people and animal and plant in the earth. All animals and plants have pigment. Even the polar bears. Polar bears have dark skin underneath their hair. I'll say 99, well, not all, probably say 98% of animals and plants have pigment. Why? Because you have to survive the rays of the sun every day. The only animals you really find that are translucent and lack pigment are deep down under the ocean and in deep underground caves. Then you will find animals that have no pigment because they don't need it. Okay, because they don't live in the sun, but we do. Yeah. So you people out there that's thinking that melanin is going to make you float through the sky and start flying. No, it don't. Melanin is just normal. Don't let Esau's foolishness start warping your brain into thinking melanin is normal. Hamites have melanin. We have melanin. Dogs have melanin. It's a normal thing on the earth. It literally is normal. Esau's the one that's made it into a big deal. He's abnormal. We just have melanin. It's like having two hands. You don't start hop, skipping and jumping and doing backflips because you got two hands. You're supposed to have two hands. That's how it works. All right. Esau in the kingdom of heaven, no one's gonna be, oh, I'm black and I'm proud. That doesn't. What do you mean? Do I say I got two hands and I'm proud, or 2 feet and I'm proud? It's just normal. Thank the Most High. I was born how I was supposed to be born. Esau's the one that's making it into a big deal. It's not a big deal. He's just a leper. Okay. They left that out of the movie conveniently. Now you might say, oh, that was back then. Esau's changed. Okay. So what happened to this film? Exodus, Gods and Kings. What was going on here? They had plenty of so-called black and melanated actors. Will Smith, Denzel Washington. They have a whole host of so-called black actors that they could have used, which would more accurately depict the scene that we saw from the Theban tomb, but they chose not to because they need to continue the status quo. Because they don't want the world to know. They don't even want the world to consider. It should be folly. It should be a joke. That's how they want it to be. That's how Vocab Malone wants it to be. Oh, they're getting it from memes. Yeah? Yeah, this is a meme. They're getting it from memes. I got to debunk memes. It's not a fucking meme, bro. What are you talking about? Right? They don't want you to be a people. They want you to be dead, have no understanding. In fact, let's get that. The man that wandereth. Where is it? There we go. Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's what they want for you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. They want you to remain in the congregation of the dead. They want you to be dead. They want you to be drunken. They don't want you to be sober. They don't want you to be alive, because that's what this understanding and this knowledge does. It makes you alive. It makes you sober. It gives you self-esteem. It gives you standards. Okay? It heals you. It edifies you. Esau don't want to edify you. The status quo of this man's society is for you to be subverted, for you to be destroyed, for you to be subservient, for you to bow down and look to him for validation, like I'm some kept woman. I'm not Esau's kept woman. We don't need your validation. We don't need your likes, and we don't need your ticks. We don't need your awards. All we need is the truth that the Lord has kindly provided for us, because you weren't going to give us the truth. Okay? And it's not just the so-called Negroes that he's done that to. He's done it to the so-called Hispanics and Native American Indians. Because James Adair brought out the information that, yeah, the tribe of Gad, the Native American Indians, they're the tribe of Gad. The Seminole Indians are the tribe of Reuben. The information exists. Yeah? The information exists. They found the fringes. They found the Hebrew. The last what's the last luminous stones with the 10 commandments over there in Mexico. They know the truth. They hide and lie and act as if we're getting it all from memes. It's memes. We got to debunk memes. They're just racist. Fuck out of here, man. Right? Let me show you how devilish these guys are. For you so-called Hispanics and Native American Indians that got your head jammed, man, all the way up Esau's backside.
Let me show you about these devils, man, and how they operate. This is the Bible dictionary. Now, there's something called the Table of Nations. When you go into the Bible, you got Genesis the 10th chapter. Most nations in the Bible are detailed in Genesis the 10th chapter. And then you have the nations that formed after that. The Genesis 10 would have been Moab, Ammon, Israel, Ishmael, Esau, the Midianites, which was the 6 sons of Keturah, and I think I covered them all. All the other nations were present in the Table of Nations, Genesis 10, including the Philistines, because the Philistines go back to Mizraim. The Philistines were actually Egyptians. So all people that you read about in the Bible have an origin, and therefore all people on the earth today have an origin going back to the Table of Nations, to the nations in the Bible, except you so-called Hispanics and Native American Indians. That God forgot about you, and we're going to show you that Esau is the devil, and they know different. Right? What it includes excludes. Noah and his family being the only persons left alive after the flood. The table naturally begins with them, and it is from his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, that the inhabitants of the earth, as known to the Hebrews, were descended. No, all peoples. Yeah? All others, the Mongolians of the Far East and Japan, and the American Indians, both north and south, the natives of Australia and New Zealand, were naturally omitted from the list. So we don't, according to Esau, the natives of the Americas, the native of Australia, right, New Zealand, Japan, China, those people there, they don't even exist in the Bible. That God forgot about them. We don't even know where they come from. So how that applies to you, so-called Hispanics and Native American Indians, is here it is. You're the Israelites. You have historical and spiritual proof, because you fit the prophecies. But Esau, according to Esau, you're not even in the Bible. Your roots don't even go back to the Bible. Who are you? Where you come from? Because God forgot about you. You were omitted from the Bible. And this is the status quo that this demon is trying to continue. He don't know and he don't care. You're nobody. You so-called Negroes, if you're anybody, you're just a bunch of Hamites. You're just black. You're just black American. Just hold on to that and keep it pushing. Keep the status quo going. No. We're not running with that today. Yeah, we're not running with that today. The status quo is going to be destroyed. that stronghold is going to be torn down. Okay? What time is it? But it's all good. We're just going to keep bringing out the scriptures, bringing out the knowledge, and our people are going to be edified, and your people ain't going to be edified. All right? See if I had any more information here. There's much more I could bring out, but let me just finish off with this precept here. All right? See, we ain't got Esau gonna have to get carnal in the end, you know, because we ain't listening, and we're not going to listen. Okay. 2 Corinthians 10:3, for we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down, just like Jericho, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of YAHAWASHI. And that's what's going to happen, because these guys exalt themselves against the knowledge of God. They sit as they are God. He is God. He's going to tell us what the truth is. It doesn't matter if it's a lie. He can make a lie into the truth. That's Esau's spirit. We're going to tell a lie for long enough and it will become the truth because we say so. But you're going to find out that you're not God. And then you could speak a lie 1 billion times and 1 billion people might believe it. It's still not the truth, right? And it's still going to be brought down and brought low for the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because the truth, which is in the Most High, the truth which is of the Most High, is powerful beyond anything that you can imagine. And it's going to roll over you, man. And it is rolling over you. That's why you got to do more parodies and hit pieces, and you can't even bring out no scriptures no more because you've been destroyed, man. Damn devil. Yeah, let me get Psalms 8:3. That's a good scriptures, man. Oh, even Psalms 144:11. Let's get that, man. Oh, man, let me get this one too. Deuteronomy 32:29. Happy art thou, O Israel. Now, who are Israelites? The descendants of Israel, right? Beginning with you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, which are predominantly a people of color, but even unto our descendants, which are scattered among the other nations and may look like the other nations, including Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. See, we're not ignorant. We keep it 100. We're not here for the convenience. Esau will dash the truth out the window the minute the truth comes against his agenda. The minute the truth isn't convenient, the truth is dealt with like an informer, gunshot to the head, and it's moving on. That's how Esau deals. Esau will never let the truth get in the way of his agenda. And that's why he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. If you are a man of integrity, you got to accept the truth when it's convenient and when it's not convenient, when it's inconvenient. Right? Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee. Because for the last 500 years, all Esau Edom has done is lie to us, put us down, make us more drunken, make us more dead. But the Lord has come to give us life. And that's what this ministry is all about, to give us life, to edify us, not to subvert, which is the job of people like Vocab Malone. He's a subverter. That's why he said, yeah, I would lean more towards the JOOs being the Israelites, because he knows them people have a shaky history. He just don't want to talk about it. And he'd rather the status quo of them being the JOOs than us being the real Israelites, because at least they look like Edomites, they look like him. It's the status quo. And thou shalt tread upon their high places. Yeah, all your universities and everything that you've used to exalt yourself is gonna be destroyed. All your degrees and all that. That's why, to hell with you devils, man. Sick of you devils, man. You already think that you're the it, man. You're the it, the in thing. You about to go out, man. You about to be down bad. Psalms 144:11, it says, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the hand of falsehood. That's all they got, man. All these Edomites have is falsehood, because the truth is against them. You're weak devils, man. And it's funny because every step of the way, the Lord has exposed these devils. For you so-called Negroes out there and Hispanics, Native American Indians, remember there was a time when Esau said you were too stupid to be able to read. A lot of things that you, Jake, do today, easy work. You go back in far enough in history, there was a time that Esau declared that you were incapable of doing it because you were too stupid. You were too stupid to be able to fly a plane. You're too stupid to be a doctor. All these things Esau taught that you literally were incapable of doing it because you lack the potential. No, we don't lack no potential. We are the children of the Most High. We have the highest potential of all people on the face of the planet Earth, because our power is YAHAWAH, SHAM, YAHAWASHI. And that's where the word potential comes from. Comes from potency. This devil has always been trying to put us down. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can't be this. We can't be that. And this is just a continuation of the same thing. But just like everything else, it's going to be found out that yes, we can, and yes, we are. And ain't nothing he going to be able to do about it. Damn devil. If we'd have listened to these devils, man, where the hell would we be? You read the story of almost every Jake that's done anything great in this modern time. He had to fight against every Edomite saying that he couldn't do it. He was incapable of doing it and had to fight to do it. Look at the Tuskegee Airmen. They had to fight to be able to fly them planes. And they did it better than anybody else. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, that's all they got is their falsehood, man. Their lies. Psalms 83:2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up their head. Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and have consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They don't want us to be the Israelites. They don't want us to know who we are and look at ourselves as brothers. They don't want the so-called Negroes to not look at each other as black. That don't mean nothing. We're supposed to look at each other and say, no, you know what? We're family, man. We family. We have a joint history, and we have a joint destiny and future. We always gonna be together. No matter how much we fight, no matter what goes down, we on this path together. We've been on this path together. Ain't nobody else been on our path. We've been on our own path. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we on the same path. We are together. We are the Israelites. We family. Esau don't want that. He wants you to be looking at each other as strangers. It's the devil, man. Telling you. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites and of Moab and the Hagarenes. Gebal and Ammon and Amalek. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. And when you read on in this chapter, it tells you that the Lord is going to broke them up, man. You Edomites are going to get broken, man. You're going to be down bad. Look at him. He's got Captain America up in the background. Captain America is going to get burned up, man. Captain America gonna become Slave Boy. That's gonna be his new name, Slave Boy. It's very telling that of all the characters, the largest character he has in his background is Captain America, because that's what he believes in. And what is America? Evil. And that's what he wants to continue. Evil, child molesting. That's why he ain't got nothing to say about the Catholic Church. There's nothing to see here. Let's move on. No, there is something to see here when thousands of children are getting broken in by these Catholic preaching. You ain't got nothing to say about it, but every week you got something to say about the Hebrew Israelites and have the nerve to say that we're the worst group on the planet because we're bringing out what's in the scriptures, because the scripture says he that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity, and it just so happens to be it was you're on the wrong end of that judgment. Now it's a problem. But with that, I'm gonna say Shalom. I gotta get out of here. Shalom, Akim.